One of the most popular questions asked in our Q&A was regarding time zones. Libby of Bloomington writes, "Why are we on Eastern Standard Time and not Central like most of Indiana? We should all be in the same time zones as Chicago and not New York. I would appreciate a referendum or a vote." Bruce D. Ranger of Indianapolis writes, "There should be a statewide referendum on moving Indiana from Eastern Time Zone to the Central Time Zone. This would enable the entire state of Indiana to be on Chicago time year-round instead of being on New York time year-round." And Morning Glory of Indianapolis writes, "It appears that the Central Time Coalition is gaining momentum. When can our legislature sponsor a bill that will allow our citizens a choice on this issue?"
As the whip for the Democratic caucus, I simply want to thank everyone who's taken the time to respond to the issue request that we placed on our website. It's good to see the number of people who are concerned about issues in the state of Indiana, and we in the Democratic caucus want to be attuned to that so that we represent the views and the concerns of the people in the district we represent. One of the issues that came up time and time again in the questions that came in was that concerning the time zones in the state of Indiana, and that's really understandable because Indiana, as a border state, is always in the position of having the time zone affect the daily lives of the people of the state. We have, with the time zone as it is today, the state split into two different time zones, the Central Time Zone and the Eastern Time Zone. In the past, we did not observe daylight savings time in the Eastern Time Zone, but now, as a result of legislation just a couple of years ago, the state of Indiana, the entire state, observes daylight savings time. A number of people have suggested that we have a referendum and determine what the people of the state think, where we should be, what time zone we should be in. And that's not new. We've had that before, I think 2 different times. And in both cases, a solid majority had indicated that they wanted the state to be in the Central Time Zone. But the Federal Department of Transportation did not take that into consideration when they split this state the way that they did. So I'm not sure that another referendum would help, but I certainly would support it. I think that the people of this state should have a voice, and I would hope that if we do have another referendum, that it would in fact be taken into consideration by the Federal Department of Transportation and perhaps put this entire state in one time zone. I think the big issue that most people are concerned about is not specifically whether we're in the Eastern Time Zone or the Central Time Zone. It's just that we should all be in the same time zone, and I think that would help eliminate a lot of the concerns that people have.